I like that Hendon Hooker's opening up a little bit and saying more. And this is one of those things that he probably wouldn't have said in the first couple of weeks of the season. But I'm still surprised that somebody hasn't figured out how to cover these guys. I mean, it is a big time scheme thing. I think Tennessee's receivers, man, are very talented, but this is scheme. I mean, this is something that gets people's attention, and it's been pretty obvious that Tennessee's receivers have been running bare, and it's been very phenomenal. It's not just to say, hey, these guys are incredible. That's part of it, but a big part of it, I think the majority, is scheme.
Heupel. I mean, it really is. It's Heupel. I mean, we saw it at was it UCF? I mean, what he could do, and he's done it here. And I just, it's him. And so for everyone, freaking out, like, he might leave, he might not, yada yada yada. But you have to understand why teams are going to be after him. Like, you have to see why. Like, everybody's going to be after Heupel.
Yeah, you hope that at one point he has so much success. Listen, you want teams to want him, so you hope that he has so much success. And this all stems from Tony Romo saying during a game that 4 or 5 teams would likely reach out to him. That may well be the case, and I mean, I think he would be a good NFL coach. I don't know about great. We still don't know if he is a great college coach. We know he's a very, very good college coach, but to be a great college coach, you've got to win a championship. He might do that this year, and then that conversation's over and done with. But
I
Amanda, I
think he's
think
great.
you would say great at this point.
Yeah, because of what he's done, because of what he's been able to do with the, talent level that he's had, what he's been able to do in just a short amount of time. I would consider him great. That
That's
would
fair.
just be, I think 2 years into Saban's tenure at Alabama, people are already saying he's great. It's very similar, actually. It's pretty
Well,
similar.
well, I mean, he had the championship at LSU, so I thought he was
It's
great
true.
at that point. So, um, I guess I'm thinking more generational. Is he that type of guy? Okay, let me ask you this. So, Lincoln or Bob Stoops. Let me take Bob
Mhm.
Stoops. Is he a great coach in your mind?
He has a great resume. I don't know if I would consider him a great coach, considering what he had at Oklahoma. I don't know if I would consider him a great coach. I also wouldn't consider Ed Orgeron a great coach or Les Miles a great coach. But again, they both won national titles at LSU. So I think with Saban, I wouldn't have considered him great when he was at LSU just because the amount of talent that was there. That's why I wouldn't have considered him great. I would consider him great when he went to Alabama, was able to do the same thing. That's why I consider Heupel great. Is he was at UCF, he was able to do what he's doing now, and then he went to Tennessee and he's able to do it still. So that to me says he's a great coach. Whereas Les Miles couldn't do that. Clearly, Ed Orgeron couldn't do that.
Yes, that's true. And I don't think he's allowed to coach at any college that's co-ed anymore. I think that's the NCAA has ruled that. Uh,
Fair.
it's becoming a tradition almost as strong as the checkerboard end zones or the ball walk. Tennessee has once again been named as a weekly SEC award recipient. This time it goes to Darnell Wright, who manned the right tackle position in Tennessee's 44-6 win over Kentucky on Saturday. So kudos to him. And some recruiting news is you're going to see this continue to happen. I've covered a lot of recruiting, and you're going to see this to continue to for Tennessee to make the top list of some of the top prospects. So athlete Brandon Hillman announced his top 8 schools. It was Virginia, Oklahoma, Miami, Tennessee, North Carolina, Kentucky, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame. He's the number 25 athlete in the class of 2023, 6'1", 191 pounds. Watched some of his tape last night. Was very impressed. He's had over 1,000 yards passing and rushing, eclipsed 30 touchdowns as a quarterback and a defensive back. I'll look at him and see him as a defensive back. Quarterback Davy Belfort. Belfort announced his top 7 schools on Saturday. Tech, Ole Miss, Florida, Michigan State, Alabama. So when you're going against the Alabamas and to some extent the Floridas of the world, that's significant. 2024 prospect. Tennessee is in great shape at quarterbacks, but they would certainly take the number 26 overall quarterback. He's just a 3-star guy now. We'll see where he goes. And Jalen Hayward announced his top 6 schools. Now, Hayward is the number 3 safety in the class of 2024 out of Florida. You look at his list, and this is what's going to change, guys. I'm going to tell you, no matter what happens Saturday, but Amanda, Tennessee has made enough of an impact where you're going to see them, and Hayward's a great example, be listed in these type of groups. Georgia,
Yes.
Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Florida. Those are big-time recruiting schools.
Yes. And Tennessee's no longer, and I'm sorry for the Tennessee fans out there, but for a while you were considered the butt of the joke. I mean, in the SEC, going through all of the coaches that you went through, Derek Dooley, when Lane Kiffin left, I think maybe that's why a lot of Tennessee fans are still kind of salty about that one. Maybe not anymore, but were for a while, is because when Lane Kiffin left, it was like it kicked off that whole era of, we're being the butt of the joke with, the Derek Dooley and the Butch Jones and the Jeremy Pruitt. Well, you're no longer that anymore. I mean, you're right up there. You scare teams, no one wants to play you. And it's good to be in that position. Like it's really good to be there instead of what you were for the past 10 years.
Great transition. Don't know if you meant to do so or not, but when you look around the SEC, you see a couple of schools that are where Tennessee was and how that is not a fun position. Auburn fires Bryan Harsin, not surprised whatsoever. And then Billy Napier is just kind of at Florida, where he's supposed to be the great detail-oriented coach and all that. We talked about that, how I was like, I haven't seen anything. I like what he did against Tennessee. I thought he was aggressive. I thought he gave his team the best chance to win. I'll give him that. But they're 4-4. And I don't know if you heard about this, but a reporter who I actually know, he's an AP reporter. And usually the AP reporters are what's the best word I get? Bland, usually.
I saw that this morning.
So they're usually pretty bland. Like they don't have a lot of personality. They just do their job, and they're not the ones that want to be on radio and all that stuff for whatever reason. I don't know, but that's just my experience. This guy's the opposite. Okay, I mean he's outspoken. He and I've had words before.
Good words or bad words?
They weren't good words.
Okay,
they weren't good. They weren't good words. And he said during a hot mic that he said that Billy Napier was apparently running late for his press conference, and somebody said something, and he goes, "Well, he shouldn't make us wait." And I'm paraphrasing, but he essentially said, "I'll be here after Billy Napier. I can promise you that." I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I'll be here longer than Billy Napier will. I can promise you that. Yeah.
That's kind of bold. I mean, again, the AP guys are usually kind of the just by the book guys.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's not. Maybe they're trying to get some fighting words in there. I don't know, but yeah, again, Billy Napier, Aaron Hernandez. That's all I see. Every time I look at him, that's all I see. Aaron Hernandez. I can't help it. He just looks just like him. I can't. Nothing I can do.
John said, ignorant question because I have only been on this channel this football season. Do you guys cover basketball and baseball too, or just football? Well, we've only been in existence since June, and we did a lot on baseball, and we will do a lot on baseball and basketball. Needless to say, and we have Ron Slay on tomorrow, brought to you by Zach England, Best and Brock. When it comes to the best attorney in Chattanooga, you need to call Zach England. Zach England of Best and Brock will handle your personal injury needs. And we'll have Ron Slay on tomorrow. So, yes, we're going to dive headfirst into a lot of things, a lot of big announcements coming up on the channel. So like, subscribe, and share. We would greatly appreciate that. John says, sweet. Yeah, we'll be all on top of it. But given this football season, that has obviously driven the news. I thought we'd be talking more. I mean, to be honest with you, in August, I would have told you we'd be talking a decent amount of basketball at this point. But with just 90 minutes, it's what we're packing in as football right now. So the other thing that, and this is just a bad idea. I jokingly, before we get to today's tough question, put up a poll last night. And Amanda, I'm curious what you think of my options, because it appears as if the Knoxville News Sentinel is going to put out a book based off this season. Now, it's going to be one of those coffee table books with a lot of pictures. And
Pictures are nice.
Pictures are nice. But it is not something that I would do, because I think it's just absolutely bad luck to do this. But they have already decided that there's going to be a ReviVOLS. Okay, not easy to say, hastily made name, in my opinion. Let's hope they do a little bit better. But you can order the ReviVOLS if you would like to, picture book, and your thoughts on announcing a book that you can pre-order and you can get by March the 4th. And the marketing idea, Amanda, you worked in marketing. Tell me if this is a good idea or a bad idea, because you can't get it by the holidays. You can give somebody a piece of paper, like a postcard, essentially is what it looks like, that they are going to get their ReviVOLS book when it's out on March the 4th.
So it's ReviVOLS?
I'm doing the best I can with the name. It's not a good name. It's yes, ReviVOLS.
Was it ReviVOLS?
ReviVOLS, yes. Maybe
ReviVOLS.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense. I haven't even seen that, and that's a terrible, dear God, that's a terrible name. I mean, it just prayers for them to change that. But
how about Pandemonium Returns? I put zero thought into that. Don't you think that's a better one?
that's probably a better one. What about, just the volunteer year? I mean, that's
I think
no thought.
I think we come up with about 18 that are better than that. So
Terrible idea.
Yeah, just for funsies. So last night I posted a late poll question: is this a good idea? And I posted a link to the book, and I put no, absolutely not, definitely not, maybe, no, wait, it's bad, and actually maybe, no, wait, it's bad, one. But they were all, it's just not a good idea.
No, not that early. That's just, people talk about, the Peyton Manning curse, which is obviously not real. This curse, that curse. You're setting this up for failure. Like you're not, I can't remember the woman that used to predict the future, but you're not her. This is not a good idea. Wait until the season completes and then do it. Have it ready by next year. Sell it when football season starts, because that's when everyone's going to be rah, rah, rah again. So no, this is a terrible, you're setting it up for failure. Because what happens if they go out against Georgia? And I'm not saying it's going to happen, please, dear God. And for the love of everything holy, just let's hope this doesn't happen. But say Hendon Hooker gets hurt. Where's your ReviVOLS book going to go then?
I don't know. I guess it would rank right up there with the Orange Crushed book that was set for 2005, written by Darren Epps of the Chattanooga Times Free Press, who I believe is now in logistics. But they set up they were going to write the book about Tennessee's fantastic season, and everybody knows that in 2005 that was the first crack in the armor on the field in Philip Fulmer's tenure, and we all know that didn't work out. So
wait, he's in logistics?
Yes, he is now, because I looked him
up.
But I was curious what he was doing, because in
2005 still not,
he was a writer.
Yeah, but he's still not able to move that book, I'm assuming.
It's pretty good. No, he's not able to move that book.